In the heart of London, a fortress stands, steeped in a history darker than the midnight sky. This is the Tower of London, a structure that has served many purposes throughout the centuries, from a royal palace to a formidable prison. Its stone walls have witnessed the power struggles of monarchs, the plotting of traitors, and the despair of those unjustly held captive. The tower's historical significance is as captivating as it is grim. For many, it's an emblem of the British monarchy. For others, it's a chilling reminder of the horrors that transpired within its cold, forbidding walls. But there's another dimension to this ancient fortress, a spectral layer that permeates its very foundation. Rumored to be one of the most haunted places on Earth, the Tower of London is said to be teeming with ghostly apparitions. Tales of spectral sightings are as old as the tower itself, whispered down the generations by those who dare to recount them. The spirits of those who met their untimely end within these walls, it seems, have never truly left. One of the most famous phantoms reputed to haunt the tower is none other than Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated second wife of King Henry VIII. Beheaded in the year 1536, her headless spectre is said to wander the corridors, her sorrow echoing through the ages. Then there are the princes in the tower. Two young boys mysteriously disappeared in the late 15th century. Their spirits are said to be seen in the dead of night, clad in the white gowns they were last seen in. Their laughter, a chilling reminder of the innocence lost within these walls. These are just a few of the spectral inhabitants of the Tower of London, each ghost a testament to the tower's grim past, a spectral echo resonating with the tragedy and torment endured here. The tower, silent and foreboding, continues to hold its spectral secrets, echoing with the whispers of the long dead. Deep beneath the City of Lights lies a macabre labyrinth of death, the Catacombs of Paris. A chilling world far removed from the romantic boulevards and bustling cafes above, these subterranean passages hold stories of a time when Paris faced a crisis of the dead. As the 18th century dawned, the city's cemeteries were bursting at the seams, posing a serious public health risk. The solution was as practical as it was eerie: to move the bones of the deceased into the city's ancient, abandoned limestone quarries. Over the course of several decades, night after night, Parisians moved the remains of an estimated 6 million people into these underground caverns. These catacombs, now a sprawling ossuary, are a stark testament to the sheer scale of mortality. Walls of neatly stacked skulls and femurs create a chilling mosaic of death. Here, the air is thick with the silence of centuries, broken only by the occasional drip of water from the limestone ceiling above. But this is no ordinary final resting place. The catacombs have become synonymous with tales of the paranormal. Visitors and employees alike report unexplainable phenomena: whispers in the dark, a cold hand brushing against their skin, the feeling of being watched. Some have even claimed to see apparitions, ghostly figures emerging from the shadows and then disappearing just as quickly. The catacombs are more than just a tourist attraction. They are a place of reflection, a chilling monument to the inevitability of death. It's a place where the past and present converge, where the living walk among the dead. It's a place that reminds us of the fleeting nature of life and the enduring mystery of what comes after. And so, as you wander through these dimly lit passages, you are not alone. You keep company with the countless souls who came before you. Their stories, their lives, and their deaths echo around you, a silent chorus in this cathedral of bones. The catacombs, a chilling monument to mortality, stretch on, filled with the echoes of the past. In the heart of Philadelphia, the crumbling ruins of Eastern State Penitentiary hold more than just memories. This imposing fortress, with its towering stone walls, has a history as haunting as the ghostly specters reported to dwell within its confines. Once upon a time, the Eastern State Penitentiary was one of the most infamous prisons in America. Conceived in the early 19th century, it was designed to inspire penitence in the hearts of its inmates, hence the term penitentiary. Yet the methods used to achieve this goal were nothing short of brutal. Prisoners were kept in solitary confinement, denied any human contact, and the silence was so absolute that guards wore felt slippers to muffle their footsteps. But it's not just the grim history that sends shivers down your spine. Over the years, countless stories of ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences have been reported, particularly surrounding the infamous Cell Block 12. Desolate and eerie, Cell Block 12 is said to be home to a particularly sinister entity. Witnesses have reported hearing disembodied laughter echoing through the corridors, and shadowy figures have been seen darting in and out of cells. Former inmates and prison guards have shared stories of hearing mysterious whispers, seeing ghostly faces, and feeling sudden cold spots. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a former locksmith who, while trying to remove a 140-year-old lock from a cell door in Cell Block 4, was gripped by an inexplicable force and reported seeing tormented faces appear on the cell walls. Despite its closure in the 70s, the Eastern State Penitentiary lives on, not just as a historical monument, but as a chilling reminder of the past. Ghost hunters and thrill seekers flock to this location in hopes of an encounter with the otherworldly. Many leave with more than they bargained for, their own tales of spectral sightings and eerie experiences. The penitentiary, a decaying testament to human cruelty, still echoes with the cries of its former inhabitants. So, if you ever find yourself wandering the haunted halls of the Eastern State Penitentiary, remember, you are never truly alone. In the canals of Xochimilco, Mexico, there is an island where the trees whisper with the voices of lost children. Welcome, dear listeners, to the Island of the Dolls, a place where childhood innocence intertwines with an eerie sense of foreboding. This island is no ordinary place. It's a world where dolls, hundreds and thousands of them, hang from trees and buildings, their once vibrant eyes now vacant and hollow, their plastic bodies weathered by the elements, and their silence telling a story more chilling than any ghost tale. The Island of the Dolls, or Isla de las Muñecas, is steeped in a tragic legend. The story begins with a hermit named Julian Santana Barrera, the island's sole inhabitant. One fateful day, Julian discovered the lifeless body of a little girl who had tragically drowned in the canal. Not far from her, a doll floated, presumably the girl's. Overcome with grief and guilt, Julian hung the doll on a tree, a poignant tribute to the lost soul. But Julian's actions did not quell the restless spirit. Night after night, he claimed to hear whispers, footsteps, and the anguished wails of a child. Tormented and desperate, Julian started hanging more dolls, scavenged from the trash, in an attempt to appease the girl's spirit. His solitary existence on the island became a quest to fill every nook and cranny with these lifeless companions. As the years rolled on, the dolls took on a life of their own. Visitors and locals began to whisper about the dolls, their eyes following you around, their heads turning, their limbs creaking as if they were alive. Some even claimed to have heard the dolls whispering at night, their voices as soft as the rustling leaves. Julian himself met a chilling end. After 50 years of living among the dolls, he was found drowned in the same spot where the girl had died. To this day, the island stands as a creepy monument to Julian's life and the little girl's death. The Island of the Dolls, a chilling tribute to a lost life, continues to watch with 1,000 vacant eyes. Off the coast of Venice, Poveglia Island broods, an accursed place of death and madness. A chilling reminder of history's darkest hours, this secluded island harbors tales of despair and terror that have echoed through the centuries. In the 14th century, Poveglia served as a quarantine station, a final destination for those afflicted by the Black Death. The island became a purgatory for the living and a mass grave for the deceased. It's estimated that tens of thousands met their tragic end here. The soil, rich with the ashes of plague victims, nurtured the island's grotesque reputation. But the horrors of Poveglia didn't end with the plague. In the early 20th century, the island morphed into an insane asylum where the mentally ill were subjected to brutal treatments under the guise of medicine. The asylum's director, according to whispered tales, was a madman himself, performing ghastly experiments on hapless patients before taking his own life from the bell tower. The asylum was eventually abandoned, and Poveglia, left to the mercy of time, became a desolate place, haunted by its gruesome past. Visitors to the island have reported a chilling array of ghostly encounters. Eerie sounds echo through the decaying structures, while spectral figures roam the dilapidated hospital wings and plague pits. Some claim to hear the anguished cries of the insane, the panicked whispers of plague victims, and the tormented wails of the dead. Yet despite the spine-chilling tales, Poveglia is more than just a ghost story. It's a chilling testament to humanity's capacity for cruelty and suffering. Every crumbling building, every overgrown path, every whisper of the wind carries a piece of a tale that should never be forgotten. A tale of a place where life and death, sanity and madness, history and horror intertwine. Poveglia Island, a forsaken place of suffering, remains shrouded in a cloak of fear and mystery. A grim sentinel in the Venetian lagoon, Poveglia continues to echo with the screams of its tormented past, a chilling reminder of the dark chapters in human history. At the foot of Mount Fuji, the sea of trees whispers with the voices of the lost and the despairing. Tucked away in the shadow of Japan's highest peak, the Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees, is a place of haunting beauty. Yet, beneath its serene facade lies a chilling reputation. For reasons that remain a mystery, it has become a final destination for many who are overcome by sorrow, earning it the grim moniker, the Suicide Forest. Much of the forest's infamy stems from the numerous bodies discovered within its dense undergrowth. Over the years, hundreds of individuals have been found here, their lives ended in tragic solitude. Despite ongoing efforts by local authorities to discourage these acts, the forest continues to draw those seeking an end to their earthly suffering. But the forest's eerie reputation isn't just based on the tragic events that have unfolded within its borders. Many who venture into the Sea of Trees have reported sightings of ghostly figures amongst the foliage. Tales abound of spectral apparitions, believed to be the spirits of those who ended their lives here, forever trapped in a limbo between this world and the next. The chilling whispers of the wind, the sudden drops in temperature, the inexplicable feelings of dread, all contribute to the forest's spectral lore. Yet even amidst the sorrow and despair, there remains a strange allure to the Aokigahara Forest. Its serene beauty and tranquil silence make it a place of contemplation and reflection. Some even believe that the forest, in its own haunting way, offers a form of solace to those who walk its paths, as if the trees themselves absorb the pain and sorrow of the world. The Sea of Trees, a grim testament to human despair, continues to echo with the silent cries of those who sought solace in its depths. From the echoing halls of the Tower of London to the whispering trees of Aokigahara, we've journeyed through some of the most haunted places on Earth. Let's take a moment to revisit these eerie expeditions, each with its own chilling narrative. The Tower of London, a place where history and horror intertwine, has been the stage for countless executions and imprisonments. The most haunting tale is that of Anne Boleyn, the beheaded queen who is often seen wandering the chapel in the tower, still carrying her severed head. Next, we descended into the chilling catacombs of Paris, an underground labyrinth filled with the skeletal remains of 6 million souls. Visitors to these dark tunnels often report an eerie feeling of being watched, and some even claim to have heard the chilling whispers of the dead echoing off the walls of bones. Then there's the Eastern State Penitentiary, a place of punishment and despair. The ghost of Al Capone, one of its infamous inmates, is said to haunt the old cell block, with visitors reporting sightings of a man fitting his description and the faint sounds of a banjo being played, just as Capone used to do during his time there. Our journey took us to the Island of the Dolls next, a place of childlike innocence turned into a nightmare. The dolls, hung by the island's late caretaker in a misguided attempt to appease a drowned girl's spirit, are said to move on their own, their glassy eyes following visitors around the island, an uncanny experience that leaves many feeling unsettled. We then ventured to Poveglia Island, an island with a dark history of plague and madness. The abandoned mental hospital still stands as a testament to the island's grim past. Visitors often report feelings of nausea and dread, and some even claim to hear the distant screams of former patients. Finally, we found ourselves in Aokigahara, the Suicide Forest. This serene yet sinister forest is known for its high number of suicides. Visitors often report an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair, and many claim to have seen apparitions or heard unsettling sounds among the trees. Each of these places, steeped in history and shrouded in mystery, has left a lasting impression on those who dared to explore them. The unexplained phenomena, the feelings of dread, the chilling tales, all serve to remind us that there are things in this world that lie beyond our comprehension. These haunted places, each with their own stories of death and despair, continue to fascinate, terrify, and beckon us, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding.